Well, it's 8:10 on day 7, the penultimate day. I had kind of a rough night last night, so I kind of took a quasi-sleep-in lazy morning where I had coffee and breakfast in the lean-to, packed up slow, relaxed, treated all my blisters, and got myself ready for the day. I have 18.6 miles to do today, but my pack is really light. I'm actually feeling really good now that I took the morning to relax a little bit. I'm doing the Shattuck Clearing to Duck Hole leg today after finishing the long lake Shattuck Clearing, and the Shattuck Clearing to Duck Hole is supposedly the most beautiful and scenic. It's also the most wild and remote section because you can only access it by hiking in either Averyville Road to Duck Hole and then getting it that way, or Long Lake to Shattuck Clearing. So I'm looking forward to that section. It should be good. Again, only 18.6 miles, so it's 8:10. I don't think I'll have a problem. And I think, according to the book, we got some real nice trail coming up. So I got dry feet, clean socks, and I think we'll have a good, nice day hiking. All right, time to get started. So I've reached the junction to Shattuck Clearing. 4.1 miles to Shattuck Clearing, 28.8 to Lake Placid. So I do Shattuck Clearing and then to Duck Hole for the rest of today. All right, so I'm getting to the final section of the Long Lake to Shattuck Clearing part of the trail, and to say honestly, the trail's been pretty good in terms of how clear it is and staying dry. There are some definite mucky spots, but in general, at least right now anyway, I've been able to keep my feet dry from the muck and stuff. They're wet because of the vegetation and the dew, but it's been a really nice section of trail. Generally easy walking. Mosquitoes are terrible, so I'm in full garb again, pants, bug net and all, but we're coming to the final 2 sections. Should be out of this section hopefully within the next half hour, 45 minutes, and then on to Shattuck Clearing to Duck Hole, and then tomorrow Duck Hole to Lake Placid to complete my trail. All right, we keep pushing. 1 mile to Shattuck Clearing. Almost there. And I start the penultimate section of the trail. So we've reached Shattuck Clearing, and we finished the Long Lake to Shattuck Clearing section of the trail. The trail continues now Shattuck Clearing to Duck Hole, and I heard there's a really nice lean-to in Duck Hole. So Duck Hole's 12 miles. Hoping to make it there tonight, which I will. And yeah, having a good day. But Shattuck Clearing, this is it. The DEC sign-in registers just up the trail, and we're gonna continue on. So I just stopped at Cold River Lean-To, I think it's number 2. And I went down by the river and made a nice coffee and took my shoes and socks off and had a nice little break for half an hour. And now it's back on trail, and Duck Hole's the next stop. Cameled up on some water, so I'm all ready to go. Pack feels good. Day 7, feeling really nice. My shoes really reek, but that's all part of the trail. So, onward and upwards. Oh, I just made it to a Luska lean-to, and it's out a little after 2. Oh, that last section of the trail was something wild. It was your typical Adirondack Trail with sharp inclines and declines, and this little tiny winding footpath that moved through conifer forest. Very tricky on the footing, very demanding on the body, but I think the trail mellows out a little bit now, so I'm hoping to make up a few little miles. But this is a beautiful lean-to. A nice spot to stop and take a break for a second before I continue on. I'm at the site of the hermitage of Noah John Rideau, Mayor of Cold River, 1883 to 1967. And this is where he completed his hermitage out on this section of the trail. As you can see here, there's some artifacts and leftover stuff from his time out here. Very cool little piece of history. Really doing well. So, yeah. All right, keep pushing. Well, I've reached John Brooks Road from Shattuck Clearing. I'm so happy I can't even tell you. It's 10.3 miles back to Shattuck Clearing, and it's 1.5 to Duck Hole, or 0.5 to the Cold River lean-tos. I'm gonna go the 1.5 to Duck Hole, and then I'll have a 13-mile day tomorrow to get out to Lake Placid. Today's been the hardest day of the whole trip. The trail was super tough, super hot, the bugs were super bad, but I made it, and I'm looking forward. It says 11.8 to Avery Road Trailhead. I'm looking forward to getting there, and I'm gonna do it. All right, a little more for the rest of the day. I got this, Duck Hill. Here we go. To the junction of the final stretch. And so this is Duck Hole. This is the official register. Lean-to tonight, and then Lake Placid tomorrow morning. So happy to get to the lean-to. It is 4:58, so I should be there in not too long. So, super happy. So I'm here at the Lean-to Rescue lean-to, just past Duck Hole, which is back that way. As per the guidebook, this is one of the nicest lean-tos I have definitely seen. It seems to be pretty new, and the wood is gorgeous. It's big and spacious, and I'm looking forward to getting a good night's rest. It's been a long day, but tomorrow, Avery Road, Lake Placid. So, yeah, super stoked. But first, dinner, and then bedtime. So, this is the end of day 7 and the second to last day. Tomorrow's my final day, and I'm actually really looking forward to finishing this trail. It's been a really informative, wonderful experience, but also extremely challenging, both physically and mentally. And I've learned a lot about myself throughout the time. I'm here tonight in the Lean-to Rescue Lean-to on the Duck Hole to Avery Road stretch of the Northville-Placid Trail, which is the final stretch. I have about 13-ish miles to go to the Avery Road terminus, and should be able to hopefully be out before lunch tomorrow. So the recap of the day: I started in Rodney Point in the Long Lake Shattuck Clearing stretch, and it was 6 miles to Shattuck Clearing. The trail was pretty good. I was able to keep my feet dry the majority of the time, which I was really happy about. They only got wet because of the dew on the branches. I didn't step in any mud puddles or mud holes, so my feet stayed dry in that respect, but spent the 7th day wet in because of the dew and the grass and all the other stuff. Shattuck Clearing is literally just a clearing in the middle of the woods. It's actually, you come upon it and you don't realize it's Shattuck Clearing until you reach the DEC registry. And, but that's it, and that begins the Shattuck Clearing to Duck Hole section, which is the most remote and toughest section of the entire trail, in my opinion. It's definitely the most remote, but definitely the toughest, in my opinion. That being said, the views are absolutely phenomenal. It is what you would think Adirondack Trail would be. It's small, winding path, up steep inclines, down steep declines, pitching and rolling on this little knife edge that goes parallel to Cold River. There's a couple really beautiful suspension bridges crossing the river that you can... It's the picturesque view off both sides of the Adirondacks. That being said, it was a very tough stretch for me. I didn't really sleep too well last night, and the lack of sleep, plus the 6 miles, plus the stretch, plus the heat. I was wearing pants, buff, covered up everything, bug net. I was really hot, and made the stretch extremely difficult for me. I actually had to stop, and before I got heat stroke, and wet myself down, drink a bunch of water, re-eat some more calories to prep to finish the stretch. I actually ended up being able to remove my shell pants, which made a big difference, and hike the rest of the way in my shorts. The mosquitoes weren't too bad, thankfully. And they're actually okay right now, despite the constant swatting. They're not swarming, so I'm very happy about that. It feels really good to finish the section. It was a real definite challenge on my physical limits, and I'm really happy I was able to complete it. And I know I'll be able to complete the final section tomorrow in the final push, starting in the morning. That being said, because the Northville-Placid Trail is extremely wet, my feet are in pretty bad shape. My trail runners smell horrendous. And I might have a case of athlete's foot or trench foot, just from being wet for 7 days. I did take off my shoes and air out my feet when I could, to stop, but I was putting in somewhere between 15 and 20 miles a day, so I didn't stop all that much, probably not even as much as I should. I definitely should have stopped more. So, cleaned them real good, using Wipies and Purell, and I'm hoping they calm down overnight. I actually have, my trail runners are dry. I was able to keep my trail runners dry for the second half of the day. I was able to take them off at the Cold River Lean-To 4, make myself a cup of coffee down by the river, and dry out my socks a little bit, and my trail runners a little bit, my insoles, and then after that, my trail runners were dry because the trail was dry, and I was able to actually skirt all the swampy areas without too much detour, sorry flies, or too much difficulty. So finishing with dry feet is probably a first. I don't know if I've done that. I actually have a clean, dry pair of socks for tomorrow. What's nice is they're in Genji, so all my toes will be separated because they're all really swollen right now due to the whatever they got going on. And so I'll finish in that pair of socks, and hopefully my feet will be okay. I'll treat them when I get out. I've been cleaning them every night and doing what I could, but it's just, the numerous days does wear on them. I'm looking forward to having an early night and definitely getting some sleep. I'm hoping it's going to be cooler than last night with a breeze. Last night was very hot over in Rodney Point, and didn't sleep because of it. So, looking forward to sleeping, and even if I don't sleep, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to finish this trail, and it's going to be an awesome feeling. Looking forward to a real hot meal, a shower, and completing a milestone. It's been something I wanted to do and something I made happen, and I'm really happy I got the chance and the opportunity to do this. Been tough, but we're almost to the end. So this is 125 miles. So 13 more to go, and we are done.
All right, see you tomorrow. The final section of the trail, Duck Hole at Averyville Road, Lake Placid.